right, we are back with another Man-to-Man podcast, and we're so glad to see you today. Today we got a special episode where we're kind of recapping some of the season, kind of going over the last little bit of the questions that we've got from you guys, and we're just looking forward to it. We got a special group today. We are missing the one and only Pastor Daniel, but we have Joseph Falchone and the effervescent Patrick Dean, because he's always fresh.
Give me just a second while I Google effervescent. Effervescent.
I hope that's what that means.
Oh, gotta love it. All right.
We're here.
We are.
Oh, man.
Bonus track number 1.
Bonus track.
Of season 5.
I love that. Bonus track.
Yeah. So
So you're going to rap now? Is that what it is? You're going to sing?
He's going to rap.
Just starts rapping.
yeah. So the thought here is I've went back and listened to all the episodes. Most of them I've now listened to like 2 or 3 times. Because
If you haven't listened to any of the episodes, go back and listen to them.
Now would be a good time
Now
to
would
go.
be good.
I really do like this season. There's a lot of just funny, laugh out loud, like belly aching moments.
Yeah.
Even like the second and third time through, I'm just laughing.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this season a lot.
It's been fun. We got it. We're wrapping up. So I wanted to go through just sort of some of the things from each episode. Some of them are going to be reprompts. Like, hey, have you changed your mind on those?
Okay.
Other ones are just going to be little interesting nuggets that I've pulled up or that I want to elaborate on.
Or make fun of us
That we
about
did.
kind of thing.
There's only one
little bit of make fun of.
There's only one, and I'm disappointed because Daniel's not here.
I didn't know this was going to be me. Daniel. He's not going to listen to this anyways. I don't know.
I love making fun of Daniel. I love picking on that guy. He's the best.
But we have several questions. So now I want to go. Let's pull a question.
Pull a question.
Rapid fire answer as quick as we can,
Okay.
and then I'll go to the season episode update from that one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in
before you
case
do that
you're
one.
just now joining us, we are we pull questions
Refuses to leave the pile.
I don't know why it's still in
out of the
there.
hat, and
Oh, this is a quick one.
and we just talk about them real quick. So here we go.
All right. Here's a quick fire one. This one's from me of the 10 I put in last week. What is your favorite TRBC sermon series? Pull it out. What's your favorite? What?
So I don't even remember. This was 2 or 3 years ago. I've got 2 off the top of my head
Okay.
that I'll go with. But there was a Christmas and Advent series that Daniel did 2 or 3 years ago.
Was it through a minor prophet? I know he did that a lot.
No, although I did like the one he did on Ruth.
Yep.
That was the Advent. That was really good. But this one was. I don't think it was about a prophet.
Last year was the life of Joseph.
No, it wasn't that one. But it had to be. It might have been 4 years ago now. I don't remember. I'll have to go and pull it up what it was. But it was just a really, really good walkthrough over the Advent weeks that I just really enjoyed digging into the whole account of Jesus' birth, prophecy leading up to it, circumstances on the ground. It was just really well done. My next one would be probably when he did Ecclesiastes, which was probably 7 years ago or so.
Wow.
That was just really well done. Just a really good to look at, smartest, most wealthiest man ever to live, that he's all for naught.
Yep.
Just a really good.
Yeah.
What you got?
The one, I forgot the name of it, but it was,
Hebrews.
I love that one, but no, that's not the number one. It's been the one. It was the one he did either. I can't remember if it was last year, 2024 or 3, but it was a mini topical series on. It was the one that had to do with like fractured stuff and
Grief.
anxiety and grief. What was the name of it? What was the name? I can't remember. But everyone,
this Crazy Life.
This Crazy Life. That one was, I don't know why, it didn't just have an impact. Thoroughly, I enjoyed it, but church wide, we heard so much back from that series from people.
Yeah.
It had a huge impact to where some people were even calling it a series on anxiety, even though it wasn't. That was only one message, but like that sermon particularly hit so many people, which really showed that people are struggling with things, you know, like, and so it was a really good, cause I think it was like a break series between a larger series we were doing, but it was so good. It was so good. I love that one.
My favorite was the Jonah series.
Oh, your graphic for that one was so good.
Yeah.
I love that one. You had
like
the sea
Jonah
monster
series.
and so good. I love that one.
The very just blended in. You could see the sea monster.
Yeah.
Such an epic.
That was my favorite.
It really is.
It was fun. It was fun. But yeah, that was my favorite. He was teaching some things about Jonah during that series that I'd never really gotten that deep into the book of Jonah. You know, it's just, you know, I've always just kind of taken it at face value. And so seeing some of the things that Daniel was touching on, I was like, whoa, mind blowing.
He had some cool things that he brought out of that. It was really good. All right, there we go.
That's a good question.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. So in episode 1 of this season, do either one of y'all remember what the main question was? It was Joseph's first question.
Yeah, I think.
It was probably something deep.
No, it
Earlier
wasn't. It wasn't. It was comedy.
Oh, comedy. Oh, yeah. How far is too far?
Yeah,
Was that what
how
I
far
asked?
is too
I
far
forgot
on
about that.
the comedy sections. Well, so I threw it in there because we were talking about what did you
Well, because I made
something of the conscience or the
Christian liberty, the liberty of the conscience, the liberty of the conscience.
Was Joseph's brilliant turn of phrase that he kept using. And
I didn't make that. But I've learned it.
Yeah, but you learned it, and I still can't learn it. So here's my follow-up for that, because I threw out a line in there, and I said I couldn't remember, so I went and looked it up, and I want to have a question for y'all. And this is, I think Matt has the first graphic for this one. It's that first image of the French title there, but you can give me the American title. What was the movie at the heart of the case Jacobelius v. Ohio, where Chief Justice Potter Stewart in 1964 famously said, "I shall not today attempt further to define the kinds of material I understand to be embraced within that shorthand description of obscenity, and perhaps I could never succeed in intelligibly doing so." Speaking of porn, he says, "But I know it when I see it, and the motion picture involved in this case is not that." So, one of the famous things that you hear people say is, "I know it when I see it," and it really stems from
Comes from that.
In his opinion, with the majority in that case, comes from this, and he's saying, like, I'm not going to try to describe porn, but I know it when I see it. But what movie was the issue? Was that issue?
What was in the movie?
No. What was the name of the movie?
Oh, I don't know.
For our viewers, sorry, I've already shown the graphics. So
Yeah, well, they still won't know the American title if they've seen the graphic.
I have no idea.
Because it's actually a French film, and I intentionally pulled the French cover for it, or the movie poster for it, because I didn't want to give it away. So the translation is The Lovers, and I can't speak French, and I certainly can't read it. So, but it's there for our viewers on there. But at the heart, there was more shown in lovemaking scenes in that movie, and they were banned. This was in a day and age and an era where we were much stricter with those kinds of things. And this case really sort of opened the doorway to have more graphic things shown that we have certainly got the consequences of in our modern world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, guys, this is not an endorsement, or we do want you to go and Google this.
So bringing up the comedy question, you're saying you made a point, and that made you think of that. Is okay.
So, and I said my point in the episode was, like, we were talking about Daniel, I think, said something about like, if you have to ask the question, if it's a sin, is it sinful to do, then you err on the side of caution. It is. And it's like, so it's, I brought up, I don't remember what the Chief Justice's name that said it, but I know it when I see it. Like I know when it's, I shouldn't be laughing at that. I shouldn't, that's too far.
Yeah.
That being said, I also heard Tosh
2.0,
whatever his Daniel Tosh.
Yeah, Daniel.
He has a bit on there where he's talking about he's got a comedy bit where he did the Make-A-Wish Foundation group like that. And he's like, yeah, like, it's
I already know.
Like, his is bad, but his whole point is, like, he gives his intro that that's what he's talking about. And he's like, there's some of you that are out there going, I can't believe he's doing this. I can't believe you're in the wrong comedy show.
Why are you here right now?
Never get along. He said, now the rest of you who think that there's humor in everything and it's okay to say, yes, this is funny, this is comical, then we're going to have a good time tonight. And I was like, there's probably things that you would go too far with. Obviously things that he's going to go too far with. But that statement in general, I was like, I think we decided
after that conversation, it depends on the context. Is that kind of what we came to the conclusion of?
Context and audience.
Context and audience and who are you doing it with and
your own.
What is it about and just
I
depends.
think the biggest thing you brought up at the end was, and I don't know that we got a great answer to it, but what if you're already desensitized? How do you guard your heart when you're already desensitized? And that's where we got into if you're already desensitized and the thought comes to your mind that maybe I shouldn't, then you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get another question. Cool. Let's go pull another one.
Sweet.
We're going to pull another question from the pile here, and then we'll get into... Oh, okay. While you're doing that, this one goes for Daniel because at the end of episode 1, although we weren't supposed to discuss it, he threw out the question of why do we not see new cemeteries being built?
Oh yeah, he did do that. I remember that. That was a long time.
So, in Alabama, you can bury somebody just about anywhere.
Anywhere. I could dig a hole in my backyard.
As long as you get the approvals ahead of time, you can dig a hole in your backyard.
Really?
Now, it comes with some issues and complications with land.
So I can buy land and just make my own cemetery.
Make your own cemetery.
I know a fella whose wife
sounds like a good business.
And he literally buried her off the back porch. I mean, just right off. I mean,
really?
He had like a U-shaped back porch and she was buried in that U. And he was too after he died.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
if I had 160 acres or more, I wouldn't have a problem finding a big old oak tree.
I'm not against on the property, but that's close. That's like that's like I'm drinking my coffee. I'm like, hey, honey, how you doing, honey?
Coffee with her every morning. What's the big deal, guys?
You can't sell that house. You can't sell that house.
Yeah, there's definitely
a house. You just have to disclose that there's a cemetery.
There's definitely nobody buried here
in your back patio.
On your back patio. It's family land from now on.
Yeah. There's a case in, I think, Stevenson, Alabama, where a guy buried his wife in his front yard. And he didn't get the proper approvals ahead of time, so he had to dig her up and move her.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Nice.
And you can imagine when people do those private burials.
Just find him instead. Don't make him dig up his wife. Just be like, all right, hey, don't do that again. Here's a fine. Why would you make a mover? That's horrible. Yeah.
Okay, well, a piggyback question is, where would you bury your spouse? Just in the big cemetery, or would you put her off the back patio?
I would not put her off the back patio.
Hopefully, I'll have.
She'd haunt me for the rest of my life.
It'd be hard to date again.
Right.
Oh gosh,
so real. That may be the most truthful thing said all season long. So how would you date?
Where did you bury your deceased wife, honey?
Was born in the U on the back.
What's this plaque back
What's
here?
This, honey? That's just my deceased
you get
wife.
That issue of, you bring them and you got, your wife's dress still hanging in the closet. You got some of those sticky issues, but hey, what's this back here?
Yeah, Bertha buried right out here.
oh, did you bury your dog back here? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, it's a dog.
Sure.
It's a dog. Yeah. All right. We good?
Yeah,
The
let's go.
next one. Okay. I wrote this one too. This one might be a little bit more conversation. Outside of gospel proclamation, what can Montgomery citizens do to address the problems of our city? And this question was written when thinking about the shooting that happened downtown, just the crime in Montgomery, the state of how it is. And there was a point that Daniel made in a sermon, which is true, when he said the thing that will fix Montgomery is Christ. Like, the gospel going forth is what's going to actually solve the problem. And as I reflect, I'm like, yes, I agree. But outside of that, what other things should Montgomery citizens, even Christian Montgomery citizens, be doing? What can they do to have a positive impact on the community outside of just sharing the gospel and being, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of the heartbeat of the question.
Yeah.
And I don't really know the answer to. That's why I was throwing it out there. So, like, if somebody came to me and was like, what can you do? I'd be like, I mean, share the gospel with people, but it's like, what else? You know, like, what else can I do?
Yeah. Well, so I go on two sides of this, depending on the day. I think the first, along with the share the gospel, but you need Christians who will go into the communities and form communities and be a part of those communities where the gospel and other things can be shared and grown but there's cultural differences that are hard to overcome in West Montgomery, North Montgomery, and East Montgomery. Right? Like, I can go in there and share the gospel, and we can be human beings and people together. But like, there's foundational, fundamental things that I believe that are not necessarily a part of my faith, but how people should live, act, provide, and do those things.
But they're probably influenced by your faith, right? Like
they are certainly, but they're generational. Right? There were things that were taught and passed down to me that I've built upon, and you need families raising children for generations to fix it. Now, the other side of that, which is the one that will probably cause some people some concern, is this is where I also remind myself that there are multiple times in the Bible where God's like, I'm done with those people. Mm-hmm. To some pretty severe extremes. And there comes a point where I think you share the gospel, but you also have to allow people to their own devices. Right? Even Paul talks about this. It's like, hey, pack up and move on at some point. Mm-hmm. Go to the people that aren't hard of heart.
It's a hard balance, isn't it?
It is. That's why I said it depends on the day.
Yeah,
like, I have a soft spot on certain days, and then certain days I go.
Because I hear that, I'm like, yeah, but then I'm also like, but we need to go into those places, like what you said the first. So it's like it's difficult. That's really difficult. Yeah. Because God's going to judge at some point, right? But yeah, that's hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really couldn't. My only thought was like get into some, maybe more Christians should get into the political realm in Montgomery, you know, like trying to make a positive impact that route, you know, and I don't even know really what of an impact that would have. Because like you said, a lot of it's not even laws or institutions, it's culture, right? So at that point, it's like, okay, how do you do that? Like you said, generationally, that's so difficult, you know? But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I think that gospel proclamation one, obviously, but outside of that, I was like, what can we do as an everyday Joe to just do something, you know? I also thought of like practically being the hands and feet of Jesus as much as you possibly can if you're living in Montgomery, you know, like feeding the poor. I mean, like the things that Christ commanded us to do that are not necessarily verbally sharing the gospel with people, but it is like just extending the love of Jesus in a practical way. Mm-hmm. Like what we do as a church with our food ministry, you know, or the prison ministry and things like that. Everyone should be involved in things like that in Montgomery. It's the only other thing I could think of.
I got nothing. I'm just trying to figure out my own house.
He said, I'm in Pike Road. Now
most of the time.
So that was I think that was episode 2. it might have been episode 1 where you brought up the question of righteous anger. How are things coming with you on your righteous anger, Matt, with being fed up with people?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I've grown.
Been stretched.
It's been good. No, I think because we had some situations come up this week, really, this last week and this week, that I've had to say, I'm choosing to not feed that angry part of me. I'm gonna just let it go, forgive that person or whatever, and just work doing the best that I can to, for the goal or whatever. But yeah, I've definitely been working on that. I hope you guys have been working on that.
All right. Episode 2. The main question, the first question out the gate was, where is the physical body of Jesus?
I think I missed this one. I wasn't there that day.
I think Lonnie was with us.
Lonnie was with you that day. Yep.
So we had a lot of discussion about that. But what really took off in that episode was the verse that was discovered by at least 3 of us in the room that day.
Yeah, we learned something.
That Michael, the archangel, and the devil fought over the body of
Moses. Yep.
So I combined that with our episode 3 discussion of if you're not using AI, are you falling behind? And Matt, I sent you I don't know if you'll be able to get the video to play or show the image, but I'm going to play it here. So
going at it.
So you got in that little video snippet, you've got AI's depiction. Oh, by the way, the prompt was simply pasting the verse from Jude 1:9 and telling it to do a image in a Renaissance style painting. So we did that one, but this one in Grok, by the way, the create an image. When I told it create an image, it created like a never-ending list of images so it was like I got tired of scrolling to find which one I liked.
You're too good.
Wow. There were thousands of them.
Jeez.
So I settled on this one, which I thought was a pretty interesting depiction. A couple things I noticed in all of these, right? The devil always has horns. There's always some sort of viney snake figure
in the image.
In it. And sometimes it's comical. Like one point the snake was growing out of the devil's knee. Moses is always a very pale white guy.
When you put in Renaissance, it kind of like, oh.
Who doesn't look like he's lived, 160 years or whatever it was at this point.
It's kind of crazy. You can just spit that out.
It took me longer to pick which image I wanted to send Matt to put a poll up today than it took AI to generate these
pretty
things.
Crazy.
And it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
No prompt engineering, none of this like, hey.
Yeah. Like you could see that being in a museum, like it was actually painted back in the day. Yeah.
I'd walk into a museum tomorrow and be like, who painted that one? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Art history class.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild.
It is wild.
So the other piece that we talked about was in that episode was Tesla and self-delivery its car. Robotaxi has taken off in Austin, Texas. They're getting closer and closer to being able to go an unsupervised robotaxi. So no human being in there behind it. And I said in that episode, I threw out the idea that in a short period of time, if your state is open to it and allows you to get it, that you could own a self-driving car that takes you to work and then goes to work for you and make money as an Uber Lyft driver.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know which one you're supposed to have. Well, it's the Model Y of the Tesla. So if you're out there and you're thinking about going electric car, you're thinking about a Tesla, I would encourage you to look into the Model Y for future economic use because that's the one that they're using for the robo-taxi.
That's crazy
currently.
though. Wow.
On that note, just another piggyback. Have y'all seen anything about Elon Musk's new contract with Tesla?
Yeah, something about trillion. That's what I saw. I've been seeing that everywhere. What is it? So what is it? Explain it to me. Like I haven't.
So it's a performance-based contract. So every set of performances, benchmarks that Tesla reaches while Elon is running the show will give him massive amounts of share in the company, but also valuation. It's basically a $1 trillion contract. Now he has to hit it all.
Yeah.
But it's also possible. And what's interesting about this is he had one like this already that was not this exorbitant, but it got threw out by the courts. And he's been fighting that. So he's basically worked for, I use this hesitantly because I don't know what it is, but very little comp. It's certainly not what he's worth to Tesla for the better part of like 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
And a big issue with this is that he wants more control over the company, more shares of the company. And his point is like with AI and what can be done, I want to make sure that I have control over how it's operated. I do not want it to get into the wrong hands.
Right.
It's hard because he went public. That's the problem, right? Because didn't he privately own it for a bit before he went public, or has it always been public?
No, so we talked about this in one of those episodes too. He's not the founder of Tesla.
I knew that, but I know he got into it. I thought did he not purchase it like when he came into it?
I don't.
Or has he always just been the CEO? And that's it.
He's been involved with it, CEO at
I'm not
some
sure.
point, and
Man, he should pull an X move, dude, and just buy it. Like, just buy it outright.
I don't think he can buy it out.
I mean, who can buy Twitter? But he did. He just said, he just made these deals.
The
and
valuations of Twitter versus Tesla are quite a bit.
That's a good point. It is.
And most of his wealth is tied up in the stock that he has in Tesla.
I mean, then he just threatened to sell it all.
Okay. So
Crash it.
Google is saying that Elon has owned a significant part of Tesla since he led the Series A funding around February of 2004. Remember, he started PayPal and sold PayPal.
Yep, he did.
Or something.
And I think he ended up being a billionaire after that.
Yep.
So he became the CEO in October of 2008, and he has been involved with Tesla in that role.
Does he have majority shares or no?
He's only got like, it's in the high teens or low 20% share.
Okay. Yeah. So he's saying, I want more operational control of this business to make sure that it goes in the right trajectory.
Which, who would have thought that Elon would have been the voice of, I don't know, like safety in AI, or, I don't even know what you would call it, just kind of the voice of reason for.
Yeah. I think it's weird. It's kind of goes back to that season one. Like there's certain aspects where like, I think he's probably right, but then there's also things that he's already doing with his AI platforms that I go, that might not be what we want 14-year-olds to be able to get their hands on.
And yet they are.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting.
Also not an endorsement for any use of AI.
I think we already did that in episode.
Yeah.
We all said, you're falling behind.
Yeah. I think we talked about like education. That was what we talked about.
Get another one out of
Another
there.
one? Okay.
I think
Hopefully it'll not be mine.
I think that's Matt Slobber question.
That's a good question, by the way.
Okay, here's the part 2 to that question we did last week.
All right.
All right. If you had to move out of the USA, which country would you move you and your family to? Last week we did the state. This one is you can't live in the US anymore. You have to live in another country. Where are you going? And I've still struggled with this question because I feel like there's a lot more than just, beautiful nature, or safety. It's like, what are the laws of the land there? How affordable is it? Like, there's so much to consider.
A lot of people are moving to United Emirates. A lot of expats are there for the safety aspects of
Not
things.
a chance.
Yeah, I mean, for me either, but that's...
You wouldn't move there because of the Islamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still. I think it's still an Islamic nation, isn't it? Yeah.
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 But they are sort of the new Islam. Yeah, they're not the...
Ask Iran about that.
Oh, I know.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get into things.
I feel like
Should
I'd
I say
probably.
Persia. Like,
I feel like I'd go to some type of quiet European country, probably one that's not really hyper involved in, like, like they're like the, what do they call it, the Slavic one, like the
Finland.
Finland.
Hungry.
No, Hungary's south, right? Isn't it?
No, it's not south, but I would not go to Hungary.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, no, they love Americans there. They're
they?
very much
Yeah, because
Do they?
Because they're
anti-immigrant.
anti-Russia.
But there's those smaller countries that are on that Baltic Sea up there. Is that what it is? The smaller European nations, like I forgot what they're called.
Finland, Norway.
Norway, Finland, Sweden. You have those that are on the other side of that sea right there. Not Germany, but the ones next to. Like, there's some smaller nations there. Yeah, I might be one of those. As all I can really think of, just because it's quiet. There's not a lot of people there, like that kind of thing. But at the same time, they're very, and they're. I mean, like I don't know all the laws there. That's the problem. We'd have to learn the language. It's difficult. Going to an English-speaking country might be easier, but where do you go then?
Greenland.
Greenland.
Or Iceland, whichever one.
I don't know at this point in my life that I got any desire to be that cold year round.
Both of them would be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to pick a place. I know a lot of expats are down kind of in South America, some different countries that are kind of coastal countries. But still, it's,
You seen what's going on in Argentina?
not a lot of safe things happening around the world.
Yeah. I think you're there, right? Any of those, the Netherlands sort of countries up there would be
Netherlands,
in high consideration.
Yep.
Like, I've also seen enough of like the documentaries and food shows and stuff. Just like, God, I think it would get old fast.
The food, yeah.
Well, no, it's not the food. Like, it's just like the culture. Like, it's
kind
a
of
very secular sort of
very much
culture
so.
that I would just be like, ugh. But
Would you go to any Asian country?
No.
Would you go to Japan?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Language, food?
I would go
Culture?
to I would go to the Samoan Islands. How about that?
Yeah. That's what I think at this stage of my life,
I could fit in.
if you told me I had
They
to
have
go,
clothes more my
I
size
can fit
there.
in.
if you told
Or you don't
me
have to
I
wear
could
shirts.
not
So you
wear
just
a shirt.
not wear shirts.
I don't know
could
that
just
I'd
not
go
wear
that
a
far.
shirt.
I think I would go down to one of the southern Caribbean islands. And
St. Thomas or something.
yeah, St. Thomas, St. Martin,
Okay.
maybe Aruba. Like,
Jamaica.
no. Further south.
Yeah.
We're going down the tube. Like,
further away from the Gulf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
so
on,
like
pretty
you're
mama.
still close enough that you can get to the United States if you need to.
Isn't it
You're
crazy how
essentially
hard
okay
it is to pick one? Because like, it just makes you more grateful of like being in this country. Just like, man, I don't know if I want. Like, why would I want to leave? Like,
I have
like,
a hard enough time leaving
like-
the South.
Yeah, like-
leaving the country would be tough.
Well, that's where like I think you're on the track. Like Samoa, like if I had to, would be one of those. Might be up there.
What about
Australia? But like their politics is wacky, y'all.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about Australia.
New Zealand, maybe, but
New
same
Zealand's
thing.
beautiful though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but again, that's gonna get old
Yeah.
at some point, right? Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna have to like finish my life out, I'm gonna need something more than just good scenery to look at.
But
Like,
you got to think about it. Where do I want generations past me to?
That's something to consider too.
yeah.
You're building a new life.
Yeah, because we're not talking about.
that's a good point.
We're talking about where you're gonna die.
And
But
your
where
children will get
grandchildren
married and your
great grandchildren
yeah.
are gonna have to
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah, that's a good question.
be a part of that culture.
That's a good question. All right. Episode 4 was our Charlie Kirk. It was right the week after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So this is simple. It might be a simple answer. You may have some profound take, but do you have any different thoughts or revelations sort of surrounding all those thoughts and emotions you had in the week or two following Charlie Kirk's assassination? Do you have has anything different today for you than it was?
I will say this. It felt like we got over it really quick.
You said what I was going to say. Boy, did that just
it was a flash in the...
I think we predicted it, though, that it would be, like, quick. I don't know. Yes, I agree. It has gone quick. I don't know. There's a lot of, in the right, like, politically that's happening surrounding... I don't know if you followed the big divisions that have happened between, like, the big figures, even though they're not... Like, like Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro have been going at it. And like, there's a lot of conspiracy theories happening, and like, it's like, but it's become a big deal in like the public right world right now. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, but it's frustrating because it's kind of distracting from the point of like his death, you know? So it has been some focus on it, but it's not on grieving it. It's more on fighting about it. That's where I'm seeing it right now.
I think we've just seen how, I mean, we talked about it back then, but like how much of that week after, not even like the 4 days after, did we hear they don't even know what they've just awoken. They don't even know what they've done. And it's just like,
gone.
And I mean, there are some impacts, like, there have been way more turning point chapters that have opened, but I mean, other than that, it's kind of like, Erica Kirk has had more of a face. Like she got invited to the White House recently, and stuff like that. But I feel like it's more for show. Like they're just kind of using her.
Well, I think, I don't even like. I'll even go so far as to say like she's trying to carry on the legacy.
I 100% think she is. But, but for everybody else, they use her grief. I feel like
it goes to all these podcasts and all these self help and everything else that I hear. It's like, oh, all you got to do is this, and I was like, well, if everybody could do that, if everybody had the personality to go out and sell, 12 hours a day, then your solution works. But guess what? Extroverts are in the minority. Like people aren't comfortable in those ways.
Yeah.
And you coming out here going, well, this is all it takes. You just got to make up your mind to do it. And it's like, yeah, maybe not. If that was the case, then, we'd have a healthier society and we'd have all of those things. But life, people are complicated.
I do think that it cut the division wound deeper, like the aftermath of it all.
Do you?
I really do. Like even like Halloween, people are dressing up as a murdered Charlie Kirk, like that kind of stuff. And then they're, that kind of things like are happening. And like, I don't know. I just feel like.
I think stuff like that's always happened.
I'm not shocked by that.
Oh, I'm not shocked. I'm just saying I feel like it's just more of a hand going on the wound. It's like
you had parades when Barack Obama was still president where people were burning and hanging him in effigy in like city parades. Like the ridiculous cruelty and thoughtlessness of the human nature is nothing new.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I think it just goes, we have more access. We know more about it because it's easier to know more about it than it ever has.
Good one.
Yeah. Let's get one more before we pull that. Because this one goes the same way, right? So episode 5, the big question there was, what do you think the biggest threat to the United States as a nation is?
Oh, yeah.
So quick. Would you change your answer based off of anything that's developed in the last 5 weeks?
I think the big theme was apathy, I believe.
Yeah, yours was apathy on that. Mine was.
I think I said China, but then I think I kind of just listened to your answer. I was like, oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't really know how to answer it.
Oh, I mean, mine wouldn't change. I think it's still freedom of expression. I think you're seeing it more and more.
Yeah,
like
I would say the lack of education that we have about, especially the history of our country. We don't really know and especially our kids don't know a lot of the things that we were taught. And I want to know what was my generation not taught that my dad or grandfather's generation taught about our own history, you know, because it seemed like the people who were early Americans, I mean, they knew how to farm. They knew how to work with their hands and create things. And now most of all of our creative stuff is digital and soon to be AI driven, where we won't really create much of anything. So I think like the education of where we come from, how to, you know, it'd be hard for Americans today to start farming locally for large scale. You know,
That's true.
I just think it would be really tough.
Yeah, we've lost skills as a country.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Grab another one.
All right. Let's see. I'm worried in that one. All right. You have $100,000. This is not mine. You have $100,000, must buy one item. You have to buy one of these 4 items. Okay. 1, a sports car. 2, a cabin on a pond. 3, a luxury trip for the family. 4, boy at Bryant Denny. That's all it says. Boy at Bryant Denny. Which I don't know what that means. Maybe take the boy to Bryant Denny or like go to a game, or that's all it says.
Box.
Box.
Let's say box.
Yeah.
Box.
Right,
Box. My bad.
Yeah.
I can't read.
Who could
I was
that
about to
have
say,
been?
let's
wonder
not,
who that
let's not
was.
buy a boy at Brian Denny.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting.
Actually, we talked about that on season episode.
Mine's quick. I would
No
do
buying of boys.
cabin on a pond.
Yeah,
Immediately. Any form of property, I want it, you know, if I had access to
Well,
it.
so
A sports car is going to devalue immediately. Luxury trip. Oh yeah, we go for 3 weeks. It'll be awesome. And then you come back and then the 100K is gone, you know, but a pond, I can just keep going back to it. Put more on land, you know.
My first thought was going through them all. Same thing. Sports car, like, no. First of all, a $100,000 sports car is not going to get you much today. The cabin on a pond.
It won't even get you a box at Brian Denny.
I thought, like, golly, that's a good one, but it's
It's a small.
like 100,000. It ain't
Small
gonna be
cabin.
much of a cabin.
It's true. It's true.
You going bigger land or
But
bigger
you
cabin?
can put more on it over time, right? At least you own it then.
In theory.
You know? In theory, you can.
It goes back to what are you getting? The luxury trip for family I went. Like, that's one heck of a luxury trip. $100,000.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But
yeah, well,
go
No,
for
it's
a
to
month.
your point. Like you just said it. Like, you're talking about like leaving like 3 weeks.
You
a
have to be
month,
gone
like
for a
some
while.
Silly amount of time. Everybody flying first class. You might eat up a lot of it.
you're going.
in a
You have
hurry.
your own private.
And then I
island.
go, well, yeah, it would be great. But then we would, at some point in the few years that followed, you'd be like, why didn't we do something better with that?
Yeah. Why didn't we get that cabin? Yeah. Why didn't we get that cabin on that pond?
Let's modify it
Box at Brian
real
Denny?
quick.
No chance. Like 0.
I want to hear Matt though.
All right, let's modify it real quick and say instead of 100,000, let's say 100 million. What would you do then? 100 million.
But you have to spend that $100 million on only
a
one of
sports
the
car.
on a sports car. You can only spend it on a sports, or like
you
only
would
on a
work with
vacation,
Bugatti to develop a new car.
or you'd only. I'd buy the fleet of Bugatti. Like I don't know,
It's the same. I'm buying the cabin on the lake.
because then you buy a nicer cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if even what is $100 million vacation look like? Like I buy an island and just live there for a year. Like I mean,
You just live there forever, right?
I mean, it'd be endless vacation.
Move to the American Samoa.
At that point, you're never
the-
working again.
Buy the super yacht and your
Yeah, I guess
luxury
you wouldn't have to work
vacation
anymore.
lasts.
But like, I feel like that would get old. You know, in my opinion, that would get old for me.
Yeah. I like the
I'd buy Bryant Denny Stadium.
the
That's what I'd
line
do.
that I heard. I don't know if you could buy it for 100 million.
You don't think so?
No, you can.
How much would it be? I'm curious. Yeah.
I don't even know. But I heard a line the other day is that money doesn't change who you are; it reveals who you are.
Absolutely.
And that really did. I mean, I'll never know the answer to who I really am, but
Yeah.
it was an interesting thought.
That's a good point.
For me. Yeah.
Episode 6,
Okay.
college football playoff.
We're all looking pretty much the same.
Who's going to be in the Final Four? So I'll go ahead and say I had Oregon. They're out. They're not in my Final Four. Certainly,
I think I had
State
Miami in, and
Yeah.
do they even have a team anymore? At this
I
point?
said I had A&M
You know,
in there.
I think we all said Ohio State would be.
Oh
there.
yeah,
I mean,
like
they're
that's-
still in
yeah,
for
Daniel
sure.
joined us a week later, and he was like, "Well, I'll definitely have Ohio State." Do
Do you think
good job? Way
Indiana
to stretch there?
Do you think Indiana is more certain to be in there? Because I think
The Final
somebody
Four.
said that for the Final Four. Somebody did. Was it Daniel that said that? I can't remember.
if they're still undefeated, they'll have to be in.
Well, there's a
have
difference
to-
between being in and being. Well, we were talking about who were going to be the last
final-
four
the last four.
standing.
The last four.
The last four standing.
Right.
Because I feel like other teams could probably beat them before they get there. I don't know. Don't you think? Especially depending on how they order it.
yeah,
how would they
seeding
order it?
would
How are they going to seed it? Who?
It doesn't.
Who does number 2 usually play?
Okay.
I
in a
obviously
tournament?
question because, even if you look at Oregon's, they do not have a win against a ranked team. So, when you see stuff like that, you're like,
Yeah.
are they?
I saw today the strength of schedule for a lot of these teams. Not great.
No,
Not great.
not great. So
That are in the
yeah, I have some concerns about Indiana, but the win this past week against Penn State, that's the sort of win that championship teams pull together in a championship.
a gritty win.
A team that you were supposed to beat, that things weren't going your way. They make one small mistake, not small, they make a big mistake, and you capitalize on it to win the game. That's the stuff that, and when you're not a fan of the Alabamas or the Georgias or the Ohio States, you're like, they just always get so lucky. And it's like, no, they're just good. All right, it's the famous, what is luck? When practice meets opportunity. When skill meets opportunity.
Man, it could be an all SEC Final Four, technically.
Oh, it could be right now.
I don't think it will be, but it could be.
That would be.
That'd be insane.
I think they'll try to seed things so that doesn't happen.
I also think you've got.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got. Right now, we're on pace to have A&M and Alabama in the SEC championship game. So one of them loses that one. That's going to change that seeding of the top 4.
It would. Yeah.
Likely, unless it's like a 3-point loss and whoever's number 5 doesn't get there. But
Yeah.
What if that comes down to remember the Alabama LSU game of was it 2011?
game of the century, 9-6.
Yeah, 9-6. What if it came down to that? No touchdowns were scored, all field goals. It'd be
so lame.
For me. It'd be a perfect game to watch. I love defensive games, but that would really be a tough to seed those teams after a game like that.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I think it'd be hard. I'll give you 3. I think I'm still going to go with Ohio State, Alabama, and A&M as 3 of the 4. I just think they're the most consistent ball clubs that I've seen. The 4th, I'm not ready to put Indiana in there yet.
Would you give it to Georgia or Ole Miss?
Again, Georgia's one of those, right? They just find ways to win games.
Georgia would be,
The problem is,
question I have is what team is
Kirby
gonna
Smart
be in
can't
there?
beat Alabama. So if he has to play them to get into the Final Four,
But what team is going to be in there that you're not expecting to be in there? Will that happen?
It would have to be Indiana, right?
Texas.
Number 10.
Texas somehow sneaks in, and then they win
They just keep winning.
2 games. I would lose my mind. Because they're just not good. They're not a good football team, but so frustrating.
Oh, all right.
Just keep winning.
All right, episode 7. This was the who would you intern for a year, and there's several things, and I brought up in that episode the Laffer curve.
Yeah.
And y'all were like, what? So there's an image, for those of y'all that are watching on YouTube, you can pull it up. Here's an image that explains what the Laffer curve is and the whole thing of the Laffer curve. And Art Laffer developed this to try to explain that tax revenue maximizes at a certain point with the tax rate. And you're constantly trying to figure out where that tax rate maximizes the amount of tax revenue you get before it actually starts hurting your revenues.
Yeah.
And his theory that we famously deployed was we need to lower the tax rate and we'll actually get more tax revenue than we were getting.
Interesting.
Because we were in the declining part. It exploded under Reagan, which gave it some validity of the lowering the tax rate.
Are we applying that principle now or no?
I mean, we're always applying it, right? Like the principle is we're trying to find it, but
Okay.
Yeah, it's a common debate. And there's always people that try to use examples of tax rates from certain areas to try to disprove that we're at there or that we're not. And the charts are all over the map. It's pretty interesting.
Would that change over time? I mean,
it could,
in theory.
I mean, it wouldn't be just a number, right? Just a solid number at all times. Like it would be a number that would.
You would certainly, and that's why it's been so hard to pin down. And but it's an interesting theory. Yeah. It's an interesting explanation. Put it there for those that are not aware. It was also one of the reasons when Trump, with his first administration, right? Same thing. We've got to lower the corporate tax rate.
Yeah.
We've got way too high of a corporate tax rate. We're going to bring it in and we're going to see a swell of revenue. And we did. We saw it. Right? They brought it in. They were able to do some things, but then now as it leveled off, why is that? So all those surges. The next piece, this was old Mr. Gamble's guy, Warren Buffett.
Oh, yeah.
So I got this nice chart that you can see that he started with $5,000 at the age of 14 to invest.
Wow.
So he's certainly, I mean, like in this chart, he's 92, right? But
who inherits that, man? That's crazy.
The important thing that I want to show you here is that his investment strategy was always, and he's value stocks that I understand. I understand the company. I understand the business. I understand what they're trying to do. And I believe they're at a value point. And he reinvests dividends, dividend paying stocks, Coca-Cola, Chevron, those things. And over time, your snowball will get bigger.
Yep. And then it accelerates over time.
Yeah.
Well, you see here, he had some better
that
seasons.
acceleration's crazy.
Look between
now the scale here. You've also got to keep in mind the scale of this chart, which I need to point out. So it's overly exaggerated because 6 markers in, it's $1.4 billion at age 56. So over the next 6 columns there is almost 40 years.
Yeah.
But it shows you what happens over time.
Yeah.
But look between that 47 and 52. He went from 67 million to 376 million in 5 years.
Wow.
Just in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the next year, 600 million. Good Lord.
1 year, he increased it almost 300 million, almost 100% increase.
So I'm 45 now.
Yeah. So if you had 19 million.
Well, let's just say if I had 5,000.
Yeah.
And I started and I experienced the same 40-year stretch.
Yep. If you put it in the right things and you just left it there,
bro,
you could turn that 5,000 into 376 million.
Wow. That's crazy.
Start small.
Yeah. It's doable.
Yeah.
You just have to have the right person to help you. Yeah.
Create the habit. Right.
Yeah.
There's easier ways to do it. You don't have to be financial. Charlie Munger, who was Warren Buffett's self-professed financial guru genius that he leaned on, used to always say that his biggest regret was that they didn't start with a bigger snowball.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't ever, I wish we would have made this. I wish we wouldn't have done this. It was always just, I wish we had a longer hill and a bigger snowball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and in that same episode, I brought up mine, might be Kathy Wood. I still think that's interesting. Daniel brought up a famous Morning Star article from a couple years ago that she was one of the top 10 biggest wealth destroyers over the last decade. And I pulled that article, and this is always interesting. If you do spot and time analysis, so you go, oh, between this date and this date, it was this. Well, the problem with the markets is, yes, there are people that get caught up in those, and there's timings. Everybody that was, going into retirement and the Great Recession saw their portfolios wiped out, right? Just terrible things like that. But I was interested to see what it's done in the 2 years since, because if you pull it off of 2022's results, famously, they had a massive collapse, 67% of that fund's portfolio erased in a year. And it happened to be right after everybody dumped a bunch of money because they had a 152% increase in 2020. So everybody's like, oh, we're going to use it. What she's doing is working amazing. We're going to dump our money into it. And then you have a pretty big collapse in 22. And they obviously took the brunt of it. It's a growth fund. Like, they're chasing big tech.
They are.
Proprietary things. Well, since that point, they recovered all of that, by the way, in 2023.
I bet.
They got another little marginal increase last year, but then this year, and my notes here are a little outdated, but I looked at it this morning. So this year, the S&P is up like 17%, something like that on the year. They're currently like 67% increase. So
This year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because people just look in such the micro, like they only look at even the months. You know what I'm saying? They only look like that. That's micro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this woman's looking 30 years down the road.
Yeah.
That's what she's looking.
And hear me when I say this, right? For anybody listening, that's not financial advice. It's not, oh, you need to go look at this fund. You need to put money in this fund. That's not what I'm saying. This is a risky investment, right? Because she's betting on valuations that they're predicting for 2030, 2035 for these companies to take off. So any one of these companies that they have a massive investment of could go under in those 5 years, and it's going to drastically hurt the performance of this. So just be aware of this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a risk play.
But
don't bet your house and your retirement on it.
Yeah, but when 2 to 3 of those companies become like Alphabet, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? Because the way it's going, it's gonna be like, oh yeah.
Well, if Tesla alone hits the valuations that they think it's gonna hit, then it's gonna be massive.
Yes.
But Tesla's like 12% of the whole thing, so it's right. Even if it goes off, like any of those others, several of those others go down, it's a problem. But I just wanted to add that extra perspective.
That's cool.
Interesting.
In there.
Always learning.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get one more before we move on to the next episode.
Sweet.
How are we? Are we 42 minutes, 45 minutes?
1 hour.
Oh, we're at an hour already?
Close to it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Do men truly want accountability from other men, or do they want shallow, apathetic relationships? So the question is, like, what do men truly want, right? What is their actual desire deep down? Do they actually want accountability, or do they want the facade of accountability, just shallow? Did you write this one?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking?
We want so we're speaking to the norm, like what the mean distribution on this is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want the shallow.
Yeah, like they want the facade of accountability.
I don't even know that they want that. I think the mean would actually be, hey, you want accountability in your life, and you had the truth serum delivered. Most men would go, not really.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're right. I think that's true.
I think most men believe the question, hey man, how you doing, is accountability. Mm-hmm. That's not accountability.
Yeah.
Right. It's, if we want accountability, you want direct, straightforward questions, Are you
Do you want me getting
involved
into
in things you
business?
shouldn't be involved in?
So
Are
I
you-
liken it to this, right? If you want accountability and you're willing to accept it, would you be willing to hand over your phone to your buddy and go, yeah, man, I'm good?
Yep. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's get into it. Look through it.
Would
Yeah.
you hand it to your wife?
That's tough. And I've done this with when we were interviewing pastors a decade ago, and there were some really interesting responses of what pastors do to protect themselves. And it was a really informative thing. Like there was like one guy told me about the platform that they use that delivers summaries to his spouse.
Wow.
Like Covenant Eyes or something like that?
I don't know what it was, but it was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
But it would give them a daily summary of these are the websites it's gone to. This is what it's doing. Shared social media, like not necessarily the same account, but like you have the password, you have it all. And
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, just speaking personally, not in the means and the whole gamut of men, but that kind of freedom is unreal to know. Like, not only am I not engaging in these things, like my partner knows.
yeah.
You know, she knows that I'm not because she can see, or, you know, I know like with different groups like Covenant Eyes, you can set up people to get a review of what you've done on your phone and websites you've gone to or whatever.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, there's nothing hidden. There's just a freedom there that I think guys want the freedom, but they don't want to walk the path to have that.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fair.
I think it's because it's not easy, especially if it's not easy if you're hiding something.
Well, so, and that's where that's where I even say, like, it's easy to do that when you know it's all clean, you don't have anything to worry about. The problem is that it's when there is something that you probably shouldn't have been doing or that you don't, right? Like, then it's like, are you still going to hand it over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you still, and are you going to do it joyfully? Be like, yes, I need the accountability in my life, because that's that's what the question.
Yes.
Do
That was
men
the question.
want it?
Do they actually
want it?
Yeah.
And they don't want it.
And if you're not willing to do it,
want it.
despite what's in there, then you don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I feel like there's a couple reasons they don't want it. One, either they just want to continue doing what they're doing, or two, there's been a misunderstanding of what genuine accountability looks like.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some fear there, you know, like
most of us don't want people to know how flawed we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of it's just our
Especially
own
men,
little
you know,
subconscious, like, oh man, I'm a
I
bad
think,
person.
and I'll tell you, I think the biggest speed bump for people to want this, it's not what they've looked at or what they've, it could be anything. Communication they've had with other people. It could be, just how they're spending their time or how they're spending their money. Maybe they want to keep secrets. It's shame.
Yeah.
It's the shame of like admitting failure to the people close to you. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of shame in that. And I think, the Lord doesn't shame us, right? He forgives us. And if we can trust that our friends, our accountability partners don't have, this malintent to shame you, then it's, you are, I think more accepting of accountability. Mm-hmm. But I think where people draw the line is like, I just don't want for them to think, like, to know how big of a failure I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
That pride and the shame.
Yep. For sure.
All right. Episode 8. Me and you. Dead on, right? So as of today, it looks like the government shutdown has ended.
Yeah.
42 days. We took the over on both. Would it last more than a week?
Yep.
We nailed that one.
Right.
We took the over.
I took
of the
both.
November 1st. No. Yeah.
I partially win.
Matt somehow pushed on this. I don't understand. And it's
I
not.
think Daniel said under, didn't he?
So Daniel said over a week, but under November 1st.
Yes.
Matt's the one that said under a week, but over November 1st.
Yeah.
So somehow he pushed on this in a way that I don't think anybody would have seen coming.
Because if it was longer than a week, it was going to be longer than a month.
Because he was for the people.
For the people. For the people.
Oh, man.
So that was a good one. Episode 9. Is there a different band for you?
No,
I know
I keep
Daniel
this-
had
I
one
keep
like
the same
every
thing.
week. He's come up with another one. I was like, and I'm with him. Like,
There's a lot of good ones, you know?
Like, I even told him, I was like, there's things that's like just in their prime, the show that they put on, like Black Sabbath, or he brought up Queen. Like, there's some of those that were just probably
Yeah,
just
mind blowing
performances
for sure.
to see in the moment, especially in some of those eras, like the rebellion of it all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that I have a different one, but
I would
there's-
love to see a band not at its prime, but in its beginning.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's certain bands that maybe not have topped out quite as big
Yeah.
as Aerosmith, which was one of mine.
Yeah.
But like, I would love to see a legend like James Brown in a small venue before he's world famous.
Otis Day and the Nights.
Yeah. I mean, just so many of those really good ones.
I like it.
I like it.
Otis Redding. I don't want to see Otis Day.
No, mine was from a movie reference. Y'all can look that up.
Okay.
Okay.
We're like, what?
I'm trying to think of the movie.
I don't know.
Let's get one of those.
One more?
Yeah.
Last one?
Or
There's two more.
well, there's two
over
more on here. We can probably.
At this point, we're committed. We're going to the end.
We're
of it.
going.
All right.
Long
Did we already
podcast.
say this one?
What
Will
was
we make it to Mars in any of our lifetimes?
Yeah, that was so. See.
All right, last one.
Yep.
Here we go.
This is what I think it is. It's mine. Okay. This is This is gonna be
He's
random.
excited about this.
But it's random. It's so random. Okay. I'll have to give some background to it after I read it. So, where is the soul located in a person? All right. So, I just was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, all right, the Bible teaches about souls, the immaterial part of a person. But, like, where is it? Right? Where is it actually in your body? Here's why. Like, if I were to, like,
Is it in your
I,
body?
well, think about this. If I lost my arm, I'm not losing any part of my soul, right? If I lose all of my appendages, I haven't lost a single part of my soul, right? So that means it removes those locations from the, right? So now it's just either head
if I have a heart
or it's torso.
transplant, I mean, you can have a heart transplant,
That's my point.
right?
It's like
Lung
so
transplant's not there.
like it's it's not like you lost your soul or that other person got a part. You're getting a part of their soul, you know.
Yeah.
Like the mind, right? Even though some people can go brain dead, but they're still there, living, right? We're keeping them alive. So so I'm like, where is it located? Is it just there? You know what I'm saying? Is it just in that head torso area whenever you die? Like, which we know when you die, your soul goes to be with the Lord immediately, right? So
Lifts up out of you.
What about all these out of body experiences? People see themselves on a
Yeah, I don't know.
surgical table or
Yeah,
whatever,
man, I don't know, man.
Near death experiences. Those are weird.
those are weird.
Those are weird.
Yeah.
Don't.
And even people, there's some stories of people doing like psychedelic, like the drugs, that like
Psychedelics.
psychedelics,
Yeah.
and like they have those experiences, and so it's like, okay, I don't know that. My question was more about like, I was just in the shower one day, I was like, where is it? Like, where is my soul? If I lost my arm, it's not like I lost a piece of my, like where is it located?
the testes.
And not that it matters.
I didn't have to say it.
Oh man,
You were thinking it. I just
Yeah.
ripped the Band-Aid off there.
It's down here.
Yeah. I think you answered the oak. Like you went through it all. Like, well, you can put somebody's heart in your body. You can put a pig heart in your body. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can replace almost every organ,
Yeah.
like, in theory.
So you want to go, oh, well, it's the brain because that's
what I'm saying. You can't replace your brain because if you put it in somebody else's brain, like let's say a medical advanced, and you could put in somebody else's brain in your head. I feel like the inner consciousness is in the brain, right? Like that wouldn't be you anymore.
But what if
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
what if they did it and it was still you?
That's my point. Like, what if it was and somehow it became yours? That's why I'm curious.
I think it would still be you.
Really?
A brain?
But your memories are all in your brain.
That's what I'm saying. So if you put my brain in anything else,
then it's you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm saying, what if you donated your brain to me
and it's still
and
him,
it was still me
with
when
all
I
of his
woke
memory.
up?
That would be wild.
That would be wild.
That's what I'm
then we
saying.
would know the soul.
It's not in the brain.
It's not in the brain.
It's in your.
My problem with that is that I don't.
In the nuts. It's in the nuts.
I can't mentally wrap my head around the idea that somebody that gets brain damage or something like that loses any part of themselves. So I just can't accept that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, episode 10, the famous witch conspiracy theory.
I got roasted for mine. Good grief. Even the next Wednesday, I got roasted for mine.
Somebody famous died on November 22nd, 1963.
Who else?
J.D. Tippett died on November 22nd, 1963. Does anybody know who that is?
No.
This is what I think is the fundamental flaw of the JFK conspiracy theory. It's the police officer that was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald on his escape route.
Okay.
Why would he kill him if he was not involved, if he didn't do it?
And that's this week's episode.
So I thought it was interesting that
I don't know. I'm not as invested in this theory.
Along with C.S. Lewis, who died on that day, he died on that day. Aldous Huxley also died on that day. Aldous Huxley is a famous author, similar to C.S. Lewis. He wrote Brave New World. Coincidence?
I think not.
I'll know it when I see it.
Right, Daniel?
Hey, y'all, we got one more bonus episode for season 5 where we're going to tackle the questions that have been submitted. So come back one more week and we'll talk about what's on y'all's mind. See you next week.